the film director Olivia Wilde has a new movie out, which she says is based on you, this insane man, this pseudo-intellectual hero to the incel community. Incel being these weirdo loner men who are despicable in many ways. Is that you? Are you the intellectual hero to these people?
Sure. Why not?
How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about this video from Abba and Preach where they react to Jordan Peterson and Piers Morgan interview. Now, this was fantastic. Now, I got to admit, I've not watched Abba and Preach's part because they have really good takes, and I didn't want to have their take kind of interfere with my take. I just saw the beginning of the video where they show like a 2 or 3 minute clip of that particular interview. And if you want to see that clip in full and also their video, I'll link to that in the description. But what I'm going to do right now is react to it live with you guys, because the main thing we got to focus on in this video is that men are ignored in society. When men are struggling, men are doing badly, whether it be financially, mentally, or whatever, we're often ignored. You got a very high suicide rate among men, homeless rate. It's like, where are the men? Where are the people to speak out for these men who are suffering? Okay, where is a voice for them? And where is a voice that's going to speak without condemnation or ridicule? So let's go ahead and get into it. Again, this video will be in the box, but let's check it out right now. Again, this is from Abba and Preach.
I want to ask you just quickly, the film director Olivia Wilde has a new movie out, which she says is based on you, this insane man, this pseudo-intellectual hero to the incel community. Incel being these weirdo loner men.
Let's pause for a minute right there. See, that characterization of incels as weirdos and loners, I feel like it's unfair. And if you don't know what an incel is, that means involuntarily celibate. A lot of these guys are just trying to figure out ways to become more attractive to women. They're having a hard time finding women, and they just can't really figure it out. So they're struggling. These guys are struggling. So when these guys come out there and say, hey, I'm having a problem with this, it's pretty brave to come out there and say something like that. Like, you're a 40-year-old virgin for real. When guys come out there and say something like that, oh, you're a weirdo, you're a loser, you're a loner, all this, that, and the third. But if they go out there and have 1,000 women, then that's also bad. So it's like, what can you really do as a man in society to have imperfections and not be seen as some type of just abnormal creature? Let's continue.
Who are despicable in many ways. Is that you? Are you the intellectual hero to these people?
Sure. Why not?
And I appreciate that answer. Let's keep on going. I don't want to keep interrupting here.
You know, people have been after me for a long time because I've been speaking to disaffected young men. You know, what a terrible thing to do that is. I thought the marginalized were supposed to have a voice.
Rough, tough already. But I feel his emotion. This is coming from empathy. He's empathizing with these men who are having these problems. He's trying to be there to help them, but then he also sees how people are treating them. Like, they're already struggling with particular things, whatever they got going on, whether it be mental, physical, emotional, whatever. They're already struggling, and then they're being just lumped upon by society. And he's trying to help, and he's getting attacked for it as well.
It's making you emotional. Talk about that.
Well, God, you know, it's very difficult to understand how demoralized people are. And certainly many young men are in that category. And you get these casual insults, these incels. What does it mean? It's like, well, these men, they don't know how to make themselves attractive to women who are very picky, and good for them. Women, like, be picky. That's your gift, man. Demand high standards from your men. Fair enough. But all these men who are alienated, it's like, they're lonesome and they don't know what to do, and everyone piles abuse on them.
You've been so controlled today, and yet in that brief moment, you got very emotional. Why?
It's really something to see constantly How many people are dying for lack of an encouraging word? And how easy it is to provide that if you're careful. You know, give credit where credit is due. And to say, you're a net force for good if you want to be.
I feel him 100%. I really do.
Do you believe you're a net force for good?
Net, yes. In all the details, probably not. You know, no one's perfect. So people make their mistakes as they stumble uphill.
Jordan, it's been a fascinating interview. Thank you very much.
What is
So yeah, shout out to Abba and Preach. Again, their full video will be in the description. But yeah, Jordan Peterson is a hero to many. I've not read his book. I forget what it's called, the 12 Steps for Life. I saw him, actually. I saw him in Nashville some years back. I saw him live. He was with Dave Rubin. That was a really good show. He just has so much information. Like I said before, it's kind of like Kanye West. When you listen to him talk, you got to just be able to soak it all in. Sometimes we do the whole stream of consciousness thing. He'll just talk about a lot of different things that you may have a hard time understanding. But right here in this interview, right there in that moment, you felt it. I know I felt it 100% because a lot of guys are struggling and they don't know how to get out of it. I've been there before as a young man. Like I say, a little personal, but not too personal. I say when I was like 25 to like 29, I was probably what you may call an incel or something like that. Not quite an incel because how I look, but just not having success in life. And it's just like, okay, where am I going? Where am I going to go from here? And I remember I had this reoccurring dream that I was missing the school bus. Every night, it was like the dream for years. The dream was haunting me. I would be in my neighborhood where I grew up, not where I was living at the time, but somewhere else in a different neighborhood where I was actually as about a 14-year-old where I was living. But anyway, I get up in the morning, I go to the normal bus stop, and I will always just catch the bus as it's leaving, and I'm missing the bus. When I'm coming home from school, I'm missing the bus. This dream haunted me forever, and what I really kind of figured out what it meant was that I'm missing my opportunities in life. I'm missing out on life. I'm not progressing. I'm dreaming about things in high school when I'm 29 years old. You see what I'm saying? And I've had that dream since a particular time. Oh, I'm getting ahead of myself. So the dreams came to an end when I started to just live for myself. You know, a lot of guys, a little bit of advice. Uncle ABL speaking to you right now for the young men out there. A lot of guys are missing out on what they can do in life because they're afraid of what others are going to think. You're afraid to be conservative out there in the world. You're afraid to be a nurse because, oh, nursing is for women. You're afraid to do X, Y, and Z. You're afraid to be a truck driver because you don't want to get into an accident. A lot of guys are risk averse and they don't want to do certain things. I'm not saying that's all of a solution to fix the problem, but I'm saying that's part of it. That was my problem. And I can speak for myself on that. I was afraid about just stepping out there and doing certain things, taking risks. I was very risk averse. But then when I stopped doing that and I started living for myself and not worried about what everybody else thought, then my world opened up and now I'm successful. No longer do I have those dreams about the school bus. Now, I have had a dream, something like that since then. But what that tells me is, hey, man, you are not doing the right thing. You got to get back on track. You kind of slipping a little bit. You got to go the other direction because you don't want to be stuck in the rut like you were back in 2012, that era. You want to be in 2022 and beyond. You want to think forward and never go backward. You want to progress, not regress. So, yeah, I mean, I feel them. And in my situation, I had my father, I had uncles in my life, I had people, I had men in my life that were there to really kind of push me in the right direction. I had really hard talks with my dad. He was like, hey, man, you asking me for help, but you need to be a man on your own. Stuff like that really stuck with me. You see, but not everybody has that. Not everybody has someone who's going to really just push them forward. So Jordan Peterson is a hero to many. His book and his talks and his YouTube videos really help a lot of people. And part of the reason why I'm here as I close is because I wanted to help others. You know, on my journey to become more conservative, I was trying to look on YouTube for guys like me, guys that came from my kind of environment, they could be black, white, or whatever, but they had to understand where I was coming from, understand my situation, and be able to kind of, I wanted to relate to these guys, but I wasn't able to find that. So I was like, why don't I be that for other people? And here I am. Here I am, nearly at 1 million subscribers, and I've been that to many of you guys. I read your emails. I may not always respond, but I read your emails, and I appreciate that. And I think we need more guys, not just like me and Jordan Peterson, but we need everybody to be like that. If you can help somebody, if you can mentor somebody in some kind of way, then do it. If you could put out positive affirmations, if you could put out some truth to the world rather than the lies from the mainstream media, entertainment industry, music, television, or whatever, if you could put out truth to the world, most certainly do that. And don't worry about what society says. You know, Jordan Peterson is right there in that boat, getting abused by society. They're calling him a godfather of the creep community. He is a person that is a right wing this, right wing that. Don't worry about that. Just do what you know is right. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? How do you feel about this Jordan Peterson clip? Did you connect with it? Did you not connect with it? Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments below. You guys pretty much know where I'm at. I think this was fantastic. I think it was great, and we need more like this for sure, because a lot of men are suffering. It's like nobody cares. Nobody really cares. You got men on the street, homeless, strung out on drugs. Who cares, right? And when somebody says, hey, you know, I'm 40 years old, I'm a virgin, I don't know how to talk to women, people want to laugh at them, but really it's like, hey, man, can you help me though? Can you help me rather than laughing at me? Can you help me? So Jordan Peterson is a guy that is helping people without this judgment. You know, come to my aid, come to my assistance without judging me, without attacking me, without abusing me, without mocking me. We need more of that in society. You know, I'm going to say one more thing, and then I'm going to wrap for real. They always say that men should show their more emotional side. They should be more vulnerable and whatnot. But then when they do exactly that, how do they get treated? Huh? Whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.